Night folds over the old world, and everything is gentle. Somewhere beyond the hills of gold, the last wind of Lydia drifts through the olive trees. The stones still remember hands that carved them, the silver coins that shone beneath the moon, and the quiet laughter of markets now lost to time. For now, breathe softly. Inhale through the nose. 4. Hold. 7. And let it fall. 8. The air that enters you has crossed centuries of dust and dream. Each breath is a river returning to its source. In the dim distance, a single flame trembles upon the water. It is small, but it does not vanish. Around it, the night expands, like silk. This is the threshold of memory, the gate where waking loosens and sleep begins to listen. You do not need to fall asleep. Sleep will quietly find you. Let the body rest against the hush of ancient marble. Let the heart move at the slow rhythm of the flute. Somewhere below the hush, the river carries coins of light. Somewhere above, the flame leans but never dies. Each breath becomes older than thought. Each exhale turns to silver mist upon the air, and through that mist, the first image forms, a kingdom built upon gold, ruled by echoes, dreaming in stone. Hold that picture. The wind is calm, the night is kind. When you breathe again, imagine the river widening and the flame bending closer, as if to guide you through. The moon will walk with us tonight, tracing the lost songs of Lydia. For just a breath, everything is still. As night returns, the world is calm again. Begin by placing a shallow bronze bowl upon the cool floor, where the moon rests like a pale coin inside the metal. Pour a handful of fine river sand into the bowl, letting the grains slip between your fingers with the softness of rain. With the edge of your palm, trace a slow spiral through the sand, wide at the rim, narrowing inward, breathing with the curve. Pause and listen for the distant hush that lives in the turning. Lift a clay pitcher and let a thread of water fall along the spiral you have drawn. Do not hurry. The thread should glide like silk. Watch as the tiny channels open, the sand settling into quiet valleys. Fold the liquid with your fingers, not stirring, only guiding, the way one might guide a sleeping child further into rest. When the water clears, let it mirror the small lamp beside you, a wick leaning like a reed. Anoint the lip of the bowl with a drop of oil. Use cedar if you have it, the scent like low music in the dark. Move your thumb once around the rim, then rest. The bowl remembers each circle. The night remembers each breath. Lay a linen cloth nearby, its threads warmed between your palms until they lose their angles and grow friendly to the air. Place a small, rounded pebble at the center of the linen, as though naming a thought without speaking. Now take a thin leaf of hammered brass and hold it above the bowl. Let the lamplight pass through its faint scratches, quiet constellations drawn by hands you will never meet. Tilt the leaf until the light becomes a soft path across the water. Follow that path with your eyes from rim to center and back again, twice, as if walking the colonnade of a silent city. When your shoulders soften, set the leaf down and listen for the rope breath of night beyond the window. Count 7 slow heartbeats without numbers, only the feeling of tides moving through the chest. Glide your fingertips over the linen, catching its weave, then rest your hands on your knees. Let the spiral sit undisturbed, the oil circling the rim in a thin, patient sheen. A breath moves through the room, like reed voices by the river. A silver hush lingers on stone, and the moon leans closer to watch. Another breath gathers and releases, the window's shadow flowing over the floor like water finding its old bed. Take the rounded pebble and place it briefly in the bowl, just touching the water, then lift it out. Let a single drop fall to the brass leaf, a quiet star expanding and fading. Fold the linen over the pebble once, then again, not to hide it, but to teach it the language of warmth. Set it down beside the lamp and watch the flame answer with a softer sway. Anoint your temples with a breath of cedar that escapes your thumb, something less than a scent, more than a memory. Now close your eyes halfway. See the spiral without seeing it. Hear the water without listening. Allow the bowl, the linen, the leaf, and the flame to arrange themselves in the gentle order that sleep loves. Linger in that order. Rest inside it. Gold is the name we give to sunlight that learn to rest. Value is only a rhythm the hand recognizes when the mind grows still. A coin is a promise shaped into a circle. A circle is a path that returns without loss. We think we hold such things. Yet it is we who are held by the quiet that gathers in repeated gestures, by the patience of matter, by the old agreement between light and time, to breathe, to trace, to fold, to glide. These are not tasks, but thresholds. Step through them, and the room becomes a river that chooses not to hurry. Inhale softly. Hold a moment. Let the breath fall. Let your shoulders sink, your jaw grow light, your eyes warmer than the lamp. There is nowhere to go. The moon rests on the bowl's thin water, and a silver hush drifts across the marble like a low, returning tide. And somewhere ahead, a softer light is waiting. Night falls once more, and the world exhales. In the hush that follows, take a piece of unmarked parchment and place it before you. Its surface should catch the faint shimmer of the lamp, neither bright nor dark, just the quiet middle where thoughts begin to breathe. Dip a slender reed brush into diluted gold ink and let the first drop touch the page like a heartbeat. Do not write words. Draw a single slow line from left to right, then lift the brush and wait for the ink to settle. Breathe in through the nose. Feel the weight of air fill the chest, a tide beneath your ribs. Hold it for a count of 7, and as you exhale, move the brush again. A curve this time, soft as the wind bending a field. The ink follows, thin and patient, tracing the rhythm of breath itself. With every line, let the sound of the brush blend with the distant murmur of night. The window breathes, the flame hums low. Each stroke becomes lighter, each space wider, until the page holds only silence. It is the same silence that once lay over the markets of Sardis, when merchants folded their awnings and gold dust slept in their hands. Lay the brush down. Press your fingertips lightly against the parchment, feeling the faint rise where ink has dried. Gold cools quickly. It prefers to rest, not to shine. Turn the page toward the lamp and watch how the letters you never wrote still seem to speak, not to the eye, but to the air. Now close your palms together and imagine that warmth moving through them, as if you were holding the breath of the city itself. The scent of myrrh lingers, a soft echo of ancient trade. Beyond the window, a river hums beneath invisible bridges, carrying fragments of moonlight between its waves. Let your shoulders fall. The brush, the parchment, the bowl of ink. They are all part of the same slow circle that began with the river and will end in the flame. Nothing is lost. Everything is only waiting to return. Somewhere in that rhythm lies a quiet understanding that creation is not to add, but to uncover, to let the world reveal itself line by line, breath by breath, until even gold forgets it was metal and becomes light again. Inhale once more, and as you release the air, imagine the ink turning to mist, the page dissolving into the night. Let your hands rest open on your knees. Feel the air between your fingers. It carries the cool weight of marble and the fragrance of the sea. The moon tilts slightly, pouring silver down the walls. Soft as a whisper across linen. The city sleeps. The river keeps its vow. Now imagine yourself walking beside that river, the Pactolus, its waters still holding traces of gold once washed from the mountain. The stream glows faintly, not in brightness, but in memory. You step softly along its bank, hearing the murmur of reeds and the sigh of unseen wings. The water mirrors your breath, one ripple for each thought that leaves you. Bend down and touch the surface with your fingertips. It is neither cold nor warm, only timeless. The gold dust moves beneath like sleeping stars. You lift a droplet and it glimmers, then fades, returning to where it belongs. Nothing in this world truly disappears. It only changes its silence. The air smells faintly of myrrh and cedar. From far away comes the echo of a lute, perhaps played by someone who no longer remembers their own song. Yet it soothes you, because even forgotten music has a home in the night. You stand still, feeling the gentle pulse of the earth beneath your feet. The city behind you is quiet. The moon ahead has turned to silver mist. Somewhere above, the flame from your chamber bends, as though bowing toward the river that began it all. Let your breath join the sound of the water. Let your thoughts move with the current, not against it. In this moment, the ink, the brush, the gold, and the moon are all one single motion. The world writing itself again. Breathe out slowly. The parchment on the floor glows faintly, as if the lines you drew are rivers, carrying their stories toward the sea. The night deepens. The lamp hums. A silver hush lingers between the walls. Let's keep walking, where the silver hush grows deeper. The ancient quiet comes back with the moon. By the time you open your eyes, the walls are bathed in a silver calm. The lamp has burned lower, its flame small but steady, and the sound of distant water hums beneath the night. Step toward that sound. The air is cool. The floor carries the memory of stone worn by patient footsteps. Follow the hush until it leads you beyond the doorway and into the open air, where the river breathes like a sleeping animal. Kneel at the edge of the water. The moon lies within it, soft and whole, and every ripple is a breath from centuries ago. Take a clay cup, no larger than your palm, and dip it slowly until the surface closes around it. Let the water rise without spilling, then lift it toward your heart. Pause. Breathe in through the nose, gentle and long. Feel the air slide down your throat like a ribbon of silk. Hold it for 7 counts, and as you release it, pour a few drops back into the river. Watch them fall like faint stars returning to their sky. The sound is small, a whisper in the dark, but the water remembers. It remembers every offering, every hand, every dream surrendered into its current. Now, touch the water again. Trace a slow circle around the cup's rim, drawing with nothing but motion. The river responds, folding around your gesture in ripples that widen and fade. Dip your other hand into the stream. Feel its cool rhythm slide across your skin. The temperature is perfect, neither living nor still. The same balance that once carried the gold dust from the mountain to the city of kings. Lift both hands. Let the drops gather at your fingertips, glimmer, then vanish into the air. In the quiet that follows, listen for the language beneath the water, the soft percussion of stones shifting, the breath of roots far below. The world speaks in small sounds when no one interrupts it. Take a single olive leaf from your pouch. Place it on the surface of the river. Watch how it floats without effort, drifting toward the reflection of the moon. That is the lesson of offering, to release what you hold, to trust that the current knows the way. Now rest your hands on your knees. The scent of myrrh returns, mingling with the dampness of the night. Somewhere upriver, a night bird calls, low, melodic, as if echoing your breath. The sound fades into the wind, then returns from the opposite bank, a reminder that even across distance, all voices share one pulse. The river glows faintly beneath the stars. Each movement of light on the water is a thought letting go. You realize how small the human wish becomes when placed beside the patience of a stream. It does not argue or rush. It simply carries. It knows that every destination is only a pause before returning home. Let your shoulders ease. The spine straightens naturally. The breath falls into its rhythm, slow, tidal, endless. The lamp behind you flickers in approval. Take another breath. Inhale softly. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Let the air fall like a curtain. You are no longer observing the river. You have become part of its motion. Gold once lived here, shimmering beneath the water's skin. Now it sleeps within the earth, content, having learned the meaning of stillness. The people who once washed their treasures in these waters are gone, yet their quiet gestures remain, woven into the rhythm of night. You lift the cup one last time, turn it upside down, and let the last drop slide free. The circle is complete. A thin mist begins to rise from the surface, and the moon bends closer, as if to bless what has been returned. The sound of the current grows softer. The stars above flicker and drift in their reflections. The offering has been made, and the world accepts it with grace. The wind stirs the reeds, a soft chorus of silver leaves brushing one another. The city beyond sleeps without need of dreams. Inhale once more. Let the air fill you, like water fills the hollow of a shell. Hold. Exhale slowly until you feel the line between yourself and the river blur into nothing. Somewhere beyond the bend, where the scent of myrrh fades into salt, a lantern waits beside the next gate of night. The path holds, and the night opens a little further. As night returns, the world is calm again. The path from the river leads through a grove of cypress, their trunks dark and tall, rising like silent prayers. The air is heavy with the scent of frankincense, drifting from an unseen source, the kind that clings to the folds of ancient robes. The ground beneath your feet changes from soil to stone. The warmth of the earth cools into the smooth touch of basalt. Somewhere ahead, a single bell tone trembles, then fades. You step inside the temple. Its walls are worn, carved with patterns that once spoke the language of kings. Moonlight enters through the high arches, falling like ribbons over the floor. The shadows sway gently, moving with your breath. Each echo of your step sounds older than your voice. At the center of the hall rests an altar, a low slab of marble streaked with pale gold. A small bowl of oil waits beside it, and a folded strip of white cloth lies next to the bowl. You approach slowly, then kneel. The air is cooler here, wrapped in the memory of every prayer once whispered. Pour a few drops of oil into the bowl and touch the surface with your fingertips. The oil is thick and smooth, like light slowed to stillness. Draw a circle on the marble, letting the scent rise, a breath of resin and warmth. Now, close your eyes. Breathe in deeply through the nose. Hold the air for 7 slow heartbeats. Let it travel down to the shoulders, across the arms, until it reaches your hands. When you exhale, release not only air, but everything heavy within the body. Let it leave without a name. Open your eyes. The flame from a distant lamp trembles, then steadies. Shadows fold and unfold across the walls like living murals. You can almost see the outlines of those who came before, builders, priests, travelers, each leaving behind the quiet shape of devotion. Their presence is not gone, it has merely become soundless. Take the strip of cloth, unfold it, and lay it across your knees. Smooth the wrinkles with slow hands. This is the beginning of release. With each movement, loosen the small muscles along the neck, the shoulders, the arms. The air thickens with calm. The rhythm deepens. Somewhere high above, the moon touches the temple's roof, casting a pale circle of light around you. The faint hum of wind flows through the archways, carrying the murmur of unseen water. It is the same breath from the river, now changed into incense and silence. Let the body follow the air's pattern. Inhale gently, counting to 4. Hold for 7. Exhale through the mouth, a long sigh that melts into stillness. The muscles soften, the chest lightens. What remains is simply presence. No effort, no demand, only the echo of breath within stone. You notice how the light touches the carved figures along the wall. Lions, wings, and suns half erased by time. The gold veins in the marble glimmer faintly, a slow heartbeat of the earth itself. In this moment, the temple is not a building, but a breathing creature. Now place both palms on the floor. Feel the coolness travel upward, steady and grounding. The scent of frankincense lingers, warm, slow, endless. You realize that prayer has no language here. It is a pulse, a rhythm that the body already understands. Stay in this quiet a while longer. Let the stillness expand behind your closed eyes until even thought becomes weightless. The walls disappear, the roof dissolves, and the night above opens like a calm sea of stars. A single spark flickers within the bowl of oil, not from flame, but from reflection, a memory of light waiting to be born again. You lean closer, not to see, but to feel the warmth radiating from it, like the breath of something eternal. The air shifts. You're no longer separate from the silence, you're its center. Breathe once more. Let the exhale drift into the temple's vastness. The sound is soft, like a ribbon vanishing into water. And when the echo finally fades, it leaves only peace behind. Peace shaped like shadow, calm as sleep. Past the wall, the garden keeps its quieter name. Night folds once more, and the world exhales. You step beyond the temple's rear gate into a garden veiled in dim amber light. The air smells of olive leaves and the last breath of day. A low fountain hums at the center, its surface reflecting the moon as if the sky itself had bent to drink. Between the stone paths, herbs bloom faintly, thyme, basil, and the shy fragrance of jasmine still awake in the dark, walk slowly along the path. The dust beneath your feet rises in a quiet shimmer, golden even in shadow. Along the wall, an ancient mural glows where the moonlight slides across it. Painted vines curling around faded inscriptions, words that no one has spoken for centuries. Yet as you move closer, you feel that they do not need to be read. They are felt, breathed, like the rhythm of wind in leaves. You stop beside the fountain. Its basin is carved from a single piece of marble, worn smooth by 1,000 hands. Dip your fingers into the water and lift them toward the air. The droplets fall back in slow arcs, each one catching the moon and breaking it into 100 pieces. The ripples spread outward, a silent language repeating itself forever. Take a small vial of olive oil from the step. Pour a drop into your palm and rub it between your hands until it warms. Then touch your temples, your throat, the space between the eyes. The oil leaves a trace of light on your skin, as if the night has chosen to remember you. Breathe in gently. Hold. Exhale through parted lips. The scent of earth and leaf fills the lungs. In this rhythm, everything softens. The body, the mind, even the air itself. You are no longer a visitor here. You are part of the garden's slow pulse. Beyond the fountain, the walls are covered in vines whose roots sink deep into forgotten soil. They hold stories of rain, of birds nesting in spring, of quiet decay that nourishes new growth. Each leaf trembles in its own silence, waiting for nothing but the next breath of wind. Sit on the edge of the fountain. The marble is cool but kind. Touch its surface, and you can feel the memory of the sun still faint beneath it. Listen. Somewhere within the branches, a cricket begins its small, patient song. Its rhythm is steady, not to fill the silence, but to measure it. Now close your eyes. Let the sound of water and night weave together until you cannot tell one from the other. The garden is breathing with you. The olive trees sway, the stars lean down, and time folds quietly inward. A thought passes through you like a gentle wind. Perhaps every civilization is a garden that blooms, rests, and blooms again. The stones do not mourn what they have lost. They wait. The soil holds its promise, whispering to every root that silence is also life. Open your eyes. The moonlight has shifted, painting the fountain's surface in ripples of silver and pale gold. Somewhere, far beyond, a breeze carries the faint smell of the sea. The city sleeps, but the garden endures, unguarded, unbroken, whole. Rest your hands on your knees. Inhale softly, counting to 4. Hold for 7. Let the air fall out, long and quiet. The shoulders sink, the jaw loosens. The body begins to mirror the calm of the earth itself. Gold, marble, leaf, and air, all are one. This is the lesson of peace, that stillness does not end the world, it renews it. Every drop that falls into the fountain becomes part of something vast and unseen. The lamp in the corridor behind you flickers once, then steadies. Shadows lengthen, drawing faint paths toward the edge of the garden. You follow them with your eyes, not with your steps. In the heart of this stillness, a small flame appears within the water. No fire, only reflection. And for a moment, it feels as if the night itself has chosen to remember your breath. The air cools, the stars drift higher. Behind the next arch, the flame lowers into amber. The moon finds us again, and everything softens. Beyond the garden lies a narrow street paved with uneven stones, sloping gently toward the sea. Each step you take echoes softly between old walls, where the scent of salt and cedar lingers like a half-forgotten hymn. A lantern swings in the distance, its flame small against the vastness of the night. The air tastes faintly of iron and water, the breath of ships resting in the harbor below. As you reach the quay, the horizon stretches open, endless and silver. The sea is calm tonight, breathing in slow tides. Wooden masts rise like slender spires, their ropes whispering as they move. Somewhere, a gull calls once, then falls silent. The city behind you fades into hum and memory, while before you, the ocean becomes the only sound that matters. Walk toward a weathered pier. A small boat waits there, moored by a single rope. Its hull glimmers faintly under the moonlight, painted with old symbols of protection. Wings, waves, and the circle of eternity. You untie the rope with quiet fingers, letting it slip free. The boat does not drift away. It rocks gently, waiting for your breath to match its rhythm. Sit on the edge of the pier, one hand on the wooden planks, the other touching the rope. The grain of the wood feels alive, warmed by countless nights of tide and wind. The rope creaks softly, a lullaby older than language. Breathe in through your nose. The air is cool and sharp, tasting of distance. Hold it, then exhale slowly, watching how the surface of the sea changes shape with each breath. Small ripples forming, traveling outward, disappearing into the silver dark. Somewhere beyond the waterline, a faint hum of life stirs. Perhaps a fisherman's lantern, perhaps only the pulse of the earth beneath the tide. The sound deepens, then fades, and for a moment, the whole world seems to rest. Take a small piece of driftwood from beside the pier. Its surface is smooth, worn down by time and waves. Hold it in your palm and feel its weight. This is what endurance feels like. Light, but certain. Dip the wood into the water and let it go. It floats for a moment, then turns, carried by the current. Watch it drift away, a fragment of earth learning to belong to the sea. The rope creaks again, answering the motion, as if approving the release. You close your eyes. The sound of the harbor expands around you, the low creak of boats, the soft rhythm of rope against wood, the whisper of the tide brushing the stones. Each noise folds into another until they become one vast, breathing harmony. Let your shoulders drop. Let the spine rest in its own stillness. The pulse behind your temples begins to slow. In the darkness behind your eyes, you see shapes, sails unfurling, waves catching starlight, hands releasing ropes that no longer bind. It is the memory of every departure and the peace of every return. The air shifts. A salt breeze brushes your face, carrying with it the faint sweetness of cedar. You breathe it in, and it calms something within you that words could never reach. Somewhere behind you, the city's last bell rings, its sound crossing the water like a silver thread. It fades slowly, leaving only the endless murmur of the tide. You open your eyes. The horizon has changed color, not darker, but deeper, as if the night itself has grown gentler. The sea mirrors the moon so perfectly that you cannot tell which is real. Rest your hands in your lap. Inhale softly. Hold for 7. Exhale with care. The heart beats once, twice, then melts into the rhythm of the waves. You realize that the sea has been breathing for you all along. The lamp on the distant pier flickers. The rope slackens. The tide pulls forward. Further along the quay, the ropes breathe like reeds. As night returns, the world is calm again. The sea fades behind you as the path turns inland, rising through dunes that gleam beneath the moon. The air grows warmer, dry and fragrant, touched by sand and distance. Each step sinks softly, leaving no sound, only a trace of shape that the wind erases almost at once. The desert stretches wide, endless, luminous, silent. Far ahead, a circle of stones marks an ancient resting place. You walk toward it slowly, guided by the pale shimmer of starlight. The air carries the faint scent of date palms, even though none can be seen. Perhaps they grow along an unseen well, or perhaps the scent is only memory, something the night itself remembers. Kneel among the stones, spread a silk veil upon the sand, and let it ripple with the wind. Its fabric glows faintly, silver woven with gold. Soft enough to catch the breath of the stars, lay both hands on the veil and feel the warmth beneath your palms. The sand still holds the heat of the vanished day. Close your eyes and breathe in deeply. The air fills the chest with light. Hold it. Let it fall away slowly, the exhale stretching into the hush around you. The sound of your breath mingles with the whisper of dunes shifting, grains sliding against one another like the slow ticking of time. You lift a small jar of oil from your side, date palm and myrrh, and unstop it carefully. The scent rises, rich and calm, like sunlight preserved in amber. Touch a drop to your wrists, then to your forehead. The oil glows faintly where the skin meets air, a quiet star born from warmth. Look upward. The sky is immense, alive with fire and silence. The constellations move like ships on an invisible sea, their sails made of light. Somewhere among them, a faint trail of dust arcs across the horizon. A comet, perhaps, or the echo of a thought traveling between worlds. Let your body lean back against the sand. The grains shift, molding themselves to your shape. The earth receives you without question. You are lighter now, less separate. The mind begins to drift, tracing patterns in the stars, connecting points that never needed to be connected. A soft wind passes. The veil moves over your chest like a living thing. You hear the hum of the desert. No music, no rhythm, only the vast breathing pulse of quiet. Somewhere far beyond, a caravan bell rings once and disappears. Its echo moves across the dunes like a ripple over glass. You imagine travelers resting under the same stars. Their fires dim, their voices low. The desert carries every sound tenderly until even memory becomes soft. In this silence, wisdom takes a different shape. It is not the learning of books, nor the counting of stars. It is the understanding that everything which endures must learn to be still. The dunes do not chase the wind, they let it pass. The stars do not hurry their paths, they glow until morning finds them. You too can rest in that rhythm. Inhale once more. Feel the air cool as it enters, warm as it leaves. Let the heart slow until it beats in time with the sand beneath you. The body releases its edges, the mind loosens its grip. Open your eyes again. The world above is unchanged, but you see it differently. Each light a thought, each shadow a pause. The veil glimmers faintly on your chest, a reminder that what covers can also protect, what hides can also hold. The desert exhales. A soft wave of air brushes across your face. You close your eyes again, not to sleep, but to listen to the soundless wisdom between stars. And in that silence, something begins to hum, low, steady, infinite. It is not outside you, it is you. Across the dune, the night carries a deeper hush. Night folds once more, and the world exhales. The dunes fade into stone. The sand grows coarse beneath your feet, and the air thins with height. A path winds upward along the flank of a mountain, silver under the moon. You climb without haste, each step guided by the hush of wind brushing through pine. The scent of resin hangs faintly, cool and sharp. It steadies the mind. When you reach the ridge, the world opens in all directions. Valleys lie below, rivers shimmering faintly in the distance, and beyond them, the faint curve of the sea you left behind. Above, the moon stands high, vast, perfect, untroubled. Its light falls like a veil across your shoulders. There's a stone bench waiting, carved long ago by unknown hands. Sit upon it. The mountain breathes through you, slow and calm. The silence here is not empty. It vibrates softly, like a chord played once and never ended. The wind hums against the cliffs, weaving in and out of small caves, forming notes that seem both near and impossibly far. Take a piece of pine resin from your pouch. Hold it in your palm and warm it with your breath. Its scent deepens, sweet and wild. Place it upon a flat stone beside you and let a spark from your lantern catch it. The smoke rises in a thin spiral, pale blue against the sky. Watch it twist, widen, and fade. You do not need to pray. The mountain has already heard you. Its patience has no beginning and no end. You sit still, and your heartbeat begins to match its rhythm. One breath per wave of wind, one thought per shimmer of light on rock. Now close your eyes. Count 4 breaths, slow and deep. Feel the air enter cool and leave warm. Let your spine grow long, your shoulders sink, your jaw unclench. The body understands stillness when the mind allows it. Open your eyes again. The smoke has changed shape, drifting toward the moon as if seeking home. Its trail becomes a bridge of light between earth and sky. For a moment, you imagine walking along it, weightless, barefoot, untethered. But you do not move. You remain where you are, breathing, listening. That is enough. A sound comes from below, a pebble sliding, a whisper of air. It might be an animal or the echo of your own movement returning to you. Either way, it reminds you that silence is never alone. It holds all things. In the distance, a waterfall murmurs, unseen but clear. The sound travels upward through stone, through air, until it touches your ears like a hand. The water's rhythm and your breath merge, rise, hold, fall. The moon brightens, touching the tips of pines until they glitter like frozen fire. A faint haze drifts across the sky, wrapping the peaks in gauze. The world softens at its edges, and so do you. Lean forward slightly. Rest your elbows on your knees. Feel the pulse of the mountain beneath your palms, steady, ancient, kind. The resin smoke fades. The scent lingers, half pine, half wind. Somewhere below, a brook catches moonlight and turns it into 1,000 trembling mirrors. The sound reaches you a moment later, like a voice repeating your own breath. You realize that every sound in the night, the wind, the water, even your pulse, is the same conversation spoken in different tones. Inhale once more. Hold. Exhale. The mountain answers. Stay like this for a while, suspended between the ground and the stars. The longer you sit, the lighter you become, until the body is nothing but rhythm, and the rhythm is peace. When you finally rise, the path ahead glows faintly. Pebbles shine like tiny moons under your feet. The air has cooled, and the scent of pine drifts down toward the valley, up the slope, Water folds into silver sleep. The ancient quiet comes back with the moon. Descending from the mountain, the world reshapes itself into streets and walls again. The night grows warmer. The air carries the mingled scents of clay, oil, and honey wax from lamps still burning in distant windows. Below, the city of Sardis lies folded under a silver mist. Quiet roofs, narrow alleys, courtyards veiled in moonlight. You walk softly through the sleeping streets until you find a stairway spiraling upward between two houses. It leads to a rooftop where silence waits, patient as an old friend. The tiles beneath your feet hold the faint warmth of the day. From here, the city feels like a sea of stone, each roof a wave frozen in time. A small clay lamp rests near the edge, half full of golden oil. Light it gently. The flame trembles, then steadies, spreading a thin glow across the walls. Shadows form and dissolve like drifting thoughts. You kneel beside the lamp, the night air touching your face. Breathe in deeply. The scent of wax and honey fills the air, sweet but light. Hold it. Exhale through the mouth, letting the sound slip into the stillness. Around you, nothing stirs except a cat moving along a distant wall, its paws soundless, its eyes reflecting two small moons. Pick up the lamp and lift it slightly. The flame wavers, painting the roof with shifting light. Set it down again. Watch the shadows move like memories, never still, never gone. Far below, the streets shine with faint reflections of stars caught in puddles from a forgotten rain. The wind travels along the alleys, carrying the soft chatter of leaves and the rustle of distant cloth. Even here, the city breathes, slow and even, as if sharing your rhythm. Place your palms on the warm tiles. Feel their surface, smooth and grainy at once. The stone remembers fire. It has known countless seasons of heat and cooling, expansion and rest. It teaches you the same patience. Inhale softly, hold, exhale. Let the warmth beneath your hands travel upward through your arms, into your shoulders, and into the chest. Let it replace the weight of thought with the calm of touch. Now lean back, resting on your elbows. Above you, the stars stretch wide and near, as if the sky itself were leaning down to listen. The moon rests behind a thin veil of cloud, its edges glowing like breath on glass. You hear a faint sound, the chime of metal cooling, perhaps from a distant forge, or maybe from memory. For a moment, you think of the hands that once shaped coins, doors, and altars here, their gestures still echoing through the city's bones. The flame in your lamp flickers again. Its shape narrows, then opens, as if breathing with you. You lower your gaze and whisper softly, not words but breath, letting the exhale tremble through the light. The flame bows and rises, answering in silence. Take a piece of pottery from beside the lamp, a rim broken but smooth. Hold it to the light. It glows softly, red as the heart of earth. Turn it once between your fingers, then set it down. Nothing is whole forever, yet everything remains beautiful in its change. From across the city, a wind rises, curtains stir. Somewhere, a door closes gently. You close your eyes, listening. The hum of the roofs blends with the distant river, the same voice that followed you from the beginning. Let the breath deepen. The body is still, but the world moves quietly through it. Air, sound, memory. Now open your eyes again. The lamp burns lower. Its flame folds inward, a small sun ready to sleep. You cup your hands around it, not to protect, but to thank it. The warmth brushes your palms, then fades as you lift them away. The moon drifts clear of its veil, brighter now, watching the city below. Light spills across the roofs like silver water, soft and endless. Breathe in once more. Hold. Exhale slowly until the sound disappears into the night. Honey wax melts inside the lamp. The air smells faintly sweet. Downriver, a softer glow leans over the stones. As night returns, the world is calm again. You follow the silver glow down through the quiet streets until the river reappears, carrying the moon on its back. The water hums against the stones, and its voice guides you toward the old sanctuary that sleeps at the city's heart. Its gate stands half open, framed by columns whose edges shine faintly like bones of light. Step inside. The floor is cool beneath your feet, a pattern of polished marble and shadow. Along the walls, small bowls of ember light flicker, not flames, but glows of coal breathing softly in the dark. The air smells of herbs and faint smoke, of time itself settling into rest. At the center lies a square of stone surrounded by shallow channels. Water flows through them in gentle loops, silvered by the reflection of the moon. You kneel beside one and dip your hand. The touch is tender, neither cold nor warm. It feels like the moment between thought and dream. Place both palms flat upon the stone. Feel the heartbeat of the earth beneath the surface. A slow pulse, steady as breath. The temple is no longer a place outside of you. It is the body turned inward, the mind unfolding toward its own stillness. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply. Count 4. Hold 7. Let the air escape, long and low. The sound joins the trickle of water and the faint crackle of embers. The body learns what silence means. A faint shimmer spreads across the floor, as if the moon itself has stepped closer. When you open your eyes, the room seems larger, infinite, the walls breathing with the same rhythm as your lungs. Shadows pulse gently, then fall still again. On a low pedestal rests a polished sphere of obsidian. Approach it slowly. The surface is black, yet it reflects everything. The embers, the channels of water, the tremor of your own hands. Look into it, and you will see no face, only light turning inward. Touch the sphere lightly with your fingertips. Its surface is warm. A hum travels through your fingers, up the arms, into the chest. The hum becomes a tone you can almost hear, soft and unending. It feels like the memory of the river, the mountain, the sea, all the places you have passed gathering now inside one breath. You close your eyes again, but this time the darkness is bright. Behind the eyelids, waves of color shift slowly, silver, amber, deep indigo. They fade, return, and fade again. There's no boundary between seeing and breathing. Let the breath grow slower. Inhale softly. Hold gently. Exhale until nothing remains but peace. The pulse steadies. The spine rests against the rhythm of the world. The sound of water folds into the air. The scent of herbs drifts upward, thin as thread. You understand now. This ritual was never about offering or remembrance. It was always about return. Every gesture, every breath has led you back to this quiet, the stillness that began before words and will remain when the last sound fades. Open your eyes one last time. The obsidian no longer reflects the room. It holds only the moon resting at its center. The embers glow faintly around you, forming a circle of slow light. You exhale, and the light seems to breathe with you, expanding and softening. Rise slowly. The water murmurs its endless lullaby, wrapping itself around the stones like silk. The flame within the embers lowers, becoming thoughtless, serene. You take one step back toward the gate, Then pause. The city sleeps beyond these walls. The river continues its silver course. Yet you know now that every sound, water, wind, heart, and silence, is the same word spoken differently. You bow your head. A single breath carries you forward. The lights have faded. The rivers hum in silver. And somewhere within the hush, a softer light is waiting. Night folds over the old world, and everything is gentle. The city of Lydia sleeps beneath its silver sky. The river glides in silence, carrying moonlight like memory through the stones of its old path. You walk once more along its edge, where water and air breathe together, indistinguishable. The lamp in your hand burns low, its glow faint and steady, more thought than flame. Stop beside the current. Look down. The reflection moves, but never breaks. The same moon that watched the mountains, the gardens, the temples, now rests here again. It has seen everything, gold and dust, prayer and silence, and it still glows the same. Breathe in. 4. Hold. 7. Exhale. 8. The air is cool. It carries the scent of cedar, water, and sleep. You kneel and touch the surface. Ripples widen outward, gentle and slow. For just a moment, it feels as if the river is touching you back. In that quiet exchange, the world closes its circle, from flame to river, from sound to breath. Count softly now. 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10. The numbers fall like petals, one by one, until only the rhythm remains. You do not need to fall asleep. Sleep will quietly find you. It is already here, in the whisper of water, in the hush of wind through the olive trees, in the calm weight of your own heartbeat. The air thickens with peace. The lamp flickers once, then steadies. A low hum rises, not from outside, but from within, a vibration that fills the chest like distant thunder made of calm. You are no longer apart from the night. You are the night breathing through itself. The river carries onward, but you no longer follow. You have arrived where motion ends and meaning begins. The flame bends, bows, and disappears, leaving only silver on the water's skin. Somewhere high above, the stars begin to fade. A pale line of dawn trembles on the horizon, but even light dares not disturb the stillness. The rivers hum in silver, the lights have faded, and you are already dreaming.